Well, you know, we can start with that. It was Star Wars last time, and this is Peter Rabbit, and the career has gone in a very diversified way for you. How much do you enjoy stretching the acting exercise into things that are completely different?
It's fun. That's part of the job, you know. I really like getting to do different things. That's part of the joy of it. Is not having to go to work every day and it be the same thing, you know. It's one of the reasons I think people, you know, want to be an actor. So this was very different to anything I'd done before, and that was absolutely part of the attraction of doing the movie.
How many Peter Rabbit books were you read as a child, and how much was it part of your upbringing?
None. I mean, none of them. I hadn't read any of them when I was younger, and it wasn't a part of my upbringing at all. It was funny when I read a couple of the books in doing prep for this, just to catch up with what it was. I realised that from the first book, there was a couple of images from that were in my head, despite the fact that I hadn't read the books. The one of him eating the carrot and of
those
Mr. McGregor chasing after him. That it had gone in on some level. And then you realise what a huge effect it must have had in the world for me to know those images, despite the fact that I hadn't read the books. But that was it, yeah. I wasn't into it when I was a kid.
It was interesting. I bought the books for my young daughter even before she was born, and I hadn't read them either, so it's just basically in our minds.
Yeah, it's funny when something feels familiar even though you've not spent time with it before. It's odd, but it's cool. I mean, it is. It's like people really care about it, and if you go to like the bookshops and stuff, there's Winnie the Pooh and Peter Rabbit and Paddington, and they're kind of three. And it's weird because I did a film that was about Winnie the Pooh. The writing of Winnie the Pooh.
Yes, of course. Goodbye, Christopher Robin.
And then my dad was in Paddington, so I feel like we've got that corner of the bookshop sewn up.
All the English literature, you know, children's classics.
I know, it's cool, isn't it? Yeah,
it is, absolutely. So you start as a new Mr. McGregor, so what can you tell us about him? He
inherits the house from the old Mr. McGregor.
The one in the books.
The one from the books, yeah. And also inherits the pestilence problem. He inherits the rabbit problem along with the manor, and so while he's trying to get the rabbits off his land, as far as he sees it, he's also falling in love with the woman who lives next door, played by the amazing Rose Byrne, and she loves the rabbits. And so there's a very strange triangle of her loving the rabbits and starting to maybe fall in love with Thomas, Thomas hating the rabbits and definitely falling in love with Bee, and the rabbits hating Thomas and loving Bee. So it's a kind of a strange kind of triangle.
Well, definitely you and Rose were together on set. The rabbits, in what forms were they with you on set?
In no form. They're
your imaginary friends.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm sure it looked very strange from a distance. I probably just looked like a man having a breakdown, because there was kind of nothing there. But it was tricky, and it was, you know, tough at times in terms of making sure that everything was working. But the animators and the director were really, really good about not making it too strict in terms of, you know, I've heard that on some things it's just hit this mark, grab it here, pretend to do this, and it can be very prescriptive. And on this, apparently, it was much looser, which was great. I mean, thank God.
When you saw it, what was your impression? I mean, they look so real, and they're so active, and, you know, jumping up and down. I mean, the animators have done an absolutely beautiful job on it. I mean, it's funny because I was there when we shot it. I was there when there was nothing in my hands. I was there when we were chasing nothing around the park. And then you look at it now and it's like they're almost in my memory now. It feels like the rabbits were there because the animators have done such an amazing job of kind of putting them in the world. They did an amazing job. At what point did you meet the rest of the cast? Obviously, you have degrees of separation with a lot of them. You and Margot in Goodbye, Christopher Robin, and with Daisy in Star Wars. But at what point did you all guys get together?
This is my disappointment on the film so far, is that Daisy's here, but I only got to say hello to her very briefly yesterday. James is here. I've spent a bit of time with James. Margot was in Los Angeles. Rose is in Los Angeles, but they're not here. So we actually haven't all sat around a table at the same time and just had a drink and which is a pity because that would be a nice thing to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The whole Peter Rabbit cast.
I know. Yeah. I'll wear the jackets from the movie. It'll be fun.
Absolutely. I was going to wear my jeans jacket today. I don't know why I changed my mind.
Why?
I should have.
You missed a trick.
I did miss the bunny rabbit trick.
Yeah.
One of my enjoyments was the music and, you know, some subtleties in it and how much it was part of the narrative. What did you think of that?
I thought it was great. Yeah, I think they did a fantastic job with it, and I really like Vampire Weekend, so it's cool that Ezra Koenig was part of that. So I think that's really, it's kind of amazing, you know. And Will's always kind of, you know, music has played a big part in his film, so it was no surprise to me that this ended up being the same.
Is it the kind of film that, you know, triggers some reactions from the fans of Peter Rabbit? What kind of feedback have you had so far? I mean, the film has been out in America, so what do people say?
I'm not on Twitter, and I haven't been in America since it was released, so I've no idea. But in terms of like how it's doing at the cinema, it's like an amazing amount of people have continued to go to see it every week. So. That suggests that word of mouth is very good. That suggests people are telling other people that it will make your child laugh, which I think is a wonderful thing. And that suggests that people are having a nice time with it. So I presume it's going well.
I've asked the rest that same question. It was, you know, the English, the Australians, and now the Irish. Are you more of a countryman or a city man?
What do the others say?
Well, they kind of all want the best of both worlds, really.
Okay, all right, okay. I'm going to sort this out for once and for all. I would like to think that I'm a country mouse, but I think I'm probably more of a city person because anytime I've been like really isolated in the country, I've loved it for a couple of days, and then I've started to go slightly mad. I'm good in my own company, but after a while I do start to crave other people, so I do quite like being in the city.
Sure. And working for Harrods.
And working for Harrods, yes, yeah. I've not been back since. I hear they've done up the front of it to look like.
Yeah, and plus, you know, there's that huge Peter Rabbit constant side of it. I mean, they've always had a Beatrice Potter, you know, dedicated Peter Rabbit.
I know, it's really cool. I mean, you know, I just hope that, you know, people, if they go and see it, kind of like enjoy being with the film. I mean, that's, you know, in the same way that they enjoy being with the books. That would be nice.
Yeah, and I can't wait for my daughter to grow up a little bit and be able to enjoy it. She's just a teeny bit too small at the moment to be able to enjoy them, but I think they look so real, and the technology makes the experience of the film so much different. So you must have been looking forward to sitting with an audience and watch it.
With an audience of kids in particular. I mean, the only reason to make the film is if you can make kids laugh. Like, that was what I wanted to be in something where there was the possibility of making kids laugh. There's something so pure about that and so amazing about a kid really laughing, like belly laughing. And yeah, so I got to sit in Los Angeles, and it was amazing to hear them really howl at the film like that. It makes me proud, you know. Well,
Peter Rabbit must have meant so much to young children, and Star Wars means so much to such a wide audience. For you, when you were growing up, was there a film or a book that meant so much to you that you would devour?
Yeah, anything to do with Roald Dahl, anything to do with him put me in a different place and made the world make more sense whilst also being more scary and more exciting. And to me, Roald Dahl was just like absolutely, and the Quentin Blake illustrations are just together in my mind when I was a kid.
That's what Daisy and Elizabeth said, so maybe you guys can.
They said Roald Dahl as well,
yes,
did they really?
Yes, you can do a Roald Dahl film together.
Oh, I must talk to them about that.
I'm putting it out there.
No, I know, they're big enough names that they can get it financed as well. I must totally talk to them about that. I hear you like Roald Dahl. Yeah.